Hey, it's your pal, Palomation, and today I'm going to teach you guys how to make Sora's Kingdom Hearts 3 design. So I've been receiving a few requests online to make a Animal Crossing tutorial video for some of my custom designs. I've made quite a bit, and I'd consider myself decently good at making them. I kind of put off making this video though, because I've never really been sure how to really explain my process, as a lot of this I think just comes from the fact that I'm decent at drawing, and it kind of just translates a little bit, as well as that growing up I used to make little sprites / like edit sprites on Microsoft Paint all the time, and I think that's another thing that just really transferred over to helping me make designs in this. But I decided that I'm just gonna go for it, and I'll do the best I can to explain everything to you guys, as well as give you a few pointers, and hopefully this helps you out. If not, then feel free to just request any designs you'd really like to see me make. If you go follow me on Instagram or Twitter, I post all my Animal Crossing designs on there, so you guys can go on there, download whatever. Like I said, I love making these designs, so really, don't feel bad about asking. It's fun for me, and I love just having more stuff to put on my social media anyway. So yeah, first thing you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to pick out your colors. You're very limited on how many colors you can have for a design, so that's why it's very important to pick out what all colors you'll need. And so I already have them all picked out right here. I already made this design, and I'm just gonna kind of be re-looking over my work to recreate it with you guys, just for the sake of time, and the fact that a lot of this is honestly trial and error, and rather than watching me go through the major steps of trial and error, we can just get it all out here in one little go. So yeah, Sora's a nice character, as he has doesn't really have a lot of colors for his jacket at least, and so it gives us a lot more options for shading, which is where you'll kind of want to see how many color slots you have left over, because then it really tells you how detailed you can get with any kind of shading or detailing. And if you just are doing a character that has a ton of colors and you kind of just run out of space, you're gonna have to just try to compromise the best you can. Like, say if they have 2 different shades of red, maybe just compromise and make it 1 shade of red. You just gotta do what you can. You're very limited on a lot of this, which we'll go over. But yeah, let's just get right into it. I'll explain what I'm doing as I go on, and if you guys want to follow along, go for it. And I hope this helps you guys out. So first thing I want to do is, if you have a character like Sora, who's predominantly one color, which the color for his clothes is predominantly black, so I'm just gonna go ahead and paste black on here. I'll do the same thing here. And now let's get into his little open jacket. Usually when making these designs, I start from either like the middle or the bottom. It really just kind of depends on what the design is. Since Sora has a nice little red trim going across him. Oh, and I'll also do mirror mode just for the sake of time. So yeah, when you have a character that has like a little trim like this at the bottom, it can make it a little bit easier to start from there. So we're gonna leave some space right here, as Sora has an open jacket, which is gonna give us a little bit of a headache coming up, but we'll get to that when we get to that. So that's about where the red trim ends on him. Now we'll just continue working from the bottom, and we'll make his little hoodie pockets right here. Let's go ahead and put that trim there. We'll switch to the single, and the white lining of the pockets, if you look closely at his design, I'll probably put it up on the screen as I go along. Yeah, the white lining actually ends right here, so you'll want to do that. Now I'm gonna go over here just for it's easier to count kind of up where I want to go. And so I have his design being let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? Ignore everything I just said. I'm going back to this side. This is the easier side for me. So I'm gonna go here until I'm 5 across. Yep. Alright, now we will make our slow little descent up and come around here like that. Alright, there's the white lining for that. Now we are gonna I think I use a slightly darker gray for right here. Yep. Now we'll make the gray little lining on his hoodie pockets, or not lining, the gray of the hoodie pockets itself. Alright, and there's the hoodie pockets there. So, yeah, I'll say I'm gonna do just kind of the base colors at first, and then we'll do the shading afterwards. So now let's, he has his little hoodie flaps, which we'll start down here. Now this is one of those things where it can take some trial and error, honestly. Like, that's part of why I'm doing this just in real time. Or I made the design and I'm just doing it now with you guys over again. That way we can skip the whole trial and error process, because yeah, it can take a while and it can be a little discouraging, but trust me, it's worth it in the end. So there we go, that's the little outline for it. Now we'll go with I think I had the second darkest color as the gray or black that I'll use to fill in here. And so one thing to do that I think will really help you out is if you have something like this, say these flaps, where you're like, I'm not sure if it's too high or too low on the torso, what you can do is exit out of mirror mode, and you can kind of just start messing around with one side of it and move it up or down or whatever you want to do, and you can then compare it to the other side and you can decide which looks better. That's what I did when making this design. It's what I do when I make almost all my designs. It definitely just really helps out. So we're gonna go back into mirror mode, and now this is another part that was a little bit of trial and error, and I was trying to figure out the kind of plaid design that he has here. I found the best way to do it when it's a smaller plaid like this is just to space it out like so. That way the colors are they're all separated, they're not gonna blend together, because as much as I actually really like the blending in this, I think it overall helps and make things look nice. It can also be just the bane of your designs, because sometimes it can just blend colors when you really don't want it to. And a way to stop that, or a way that helps, is the closer colors are in terms of like shade, the more your design is going to want to blend it. So say if you have 2 shades of black and they're starting to blend when you don't want them to, try changing one of the shades to either a lighter or a darker shade of black, and it'll kind of, the farther you go, the less it will try to fuse those 2 colors together. So yeah, right now we're doing Sora's little his little buttons. I'm actually just gonna go ahead and do the shading on these, as they're metallic, and I'm gonna turn off the mirror mode for this one, as I don't want these to be mirrored. When using like a metallic thing like this, I kind of want the light source to always be coming from the same angle, and so this will be one of the few things that won't be completely symmetrical in this design. There we go. There's Sora's little gumdrop buttons. Now let's we'll make his little belt buckle he has down here. So I'm just gonna, this is another thing that's metallic, so it's definitely gonna get pretty altered. Alright, and yeah, I always put one of these to make the little belt loop like so. And then this is the only spot in the entire design we're gonna be using that blue. So now let's get into shading. So when I'm using metal, I almost always want to use like a little bit of white in the design. Just obviously metal is very reflective, and so usually just having like a little tidbit of white at the top always looks nice. It always helps out. Now and then I'll put some darker gray down here at the bottom. There we go. We'll go with that shade. And yep, that's all we need to do for Sora's belt. Now let's get into his undershirt. And so he has a little V-neck. In order to make a kind of a V shape is really easy. Just do this. See, makes a nice little V. That's all there is to it. All right, now we'll make his undershirt. So I have his undershirt as 2 shades lighter than the black that's on the little flannel flaps. This again just goes with you don't want the colors to be too close in the same shade, or they're gonna start blending together, and it's not gonna look good. All right, now we're gonna make the hood for Sora. He has a unique hood as it's 2 different tones, and I'll say right now that it's not gonna turn out perfect because Sora's hood is an open jacket hood, while this one's obviously closed, and it also just has a weird little design at the top of it. I feel like it's a design I don't see a ton of hoodies having. And I don't remember if I've talked about this, but if I haven't, when choosing what colors I want to use, I always go for like softer, more pastel colors. I think it just really meshes well with the overall look of Animal Crossing. As you can see, I'm using kind of a softer red, and even for like the darkest black, I usually go like 1 shade to the left, just so it's not like a pure black, which I'll rarely ever, well, I want to use pure black as a color. And yeah, the hardest, so when I'm up here on the top of the shirt, realized I forgot to turn mirror mode back on, but we'll do that now. So yeah, when up here at the top, it can be kind of hard to tell like where you're putting things. It can be a little wonky, so you really just kind of want to pay attention to the design and kind of work with it to figure out like where exactly the collar is gonna be and whatnot, and figure out how things will line up with the hood itself. So I found there we go. Yep, and I found this lines up decently well with the hood, so it will connect to the back when we get to that area. Now here comes a unique little part, and that's doing the skin. So the skin shade I use for my guy and for Sora is the second lightest skin on the whole skin chart. So this is a color I found meshes with that skin color really well. So if you want to if you're making any kind of skin on the fabric, which obviously is a weird thing, but you'll see how I do it. This is the good skin color to go with. So I know this is gonna be technically on the clothes, but we're gonna try to make kind of the illusion of this being like an open hoodie. And so we're gonna actually kind of try to make this little area look like it's part of his neck by making it just a very similar shade to his skin color. And then this black right here is going to stay where it is, as it's actually part of the inner lining of Sora's hoodie. Now let's go ahead and make his little crown necklace. This is one of the areas where you kind of just got to accept the fact that you're not going to be able to make it as detailed as you want. That's all we can really do for it right there. Once again, this is a metallic, so I'll put a little bit of shading on it, but not like a ton. And see right there how it kind of disconnected when I made the color too dark. And so I want to make these 2 colors right here the same shade, otherwise they don't connect all too well. Alright, yep, so that's the base coloring for Sora's hoodie. Oops, I actually realized I put these buttons down one too high, so we're gonna fix that real quick. There we go. Alright, that's better. Alright, now we are going to do the shading for him. So I already did it on the buttons. Like I said, metal, how I kind of do it is I start in like the top left corner and I do like a little bit of white. And then just towards the bottom right corner, I kind of just get darker as I go. I usually, like I did with this belt, I usually use 3 different shades. Alright, yep, so let's get into it. It looks like for here, I already actually used the more shaded color. So I'm just gonna scoot over to here, and now I'll start doing the white right here as the white lining. And usually how I do the shading on the sides like this is I just imagine the arms kind of covering over it. So you'll see like this is meant to be the shadow coming from like the arms. Again, the game itself, of course, would make its own lighting and shadowing, and whatnot. I just think it looks nice. I think it makes the designs look a little more detailed. I'll say for fabric designs like this, you don't necessarily need to do shading. You can stop at the base color. I like the way shading looks, so I always just do it. And usually I kind of just do keeping like the bottom area darker and then like lighter at the top, which I don't know if that makes perfect. I don't know how accurate that actually is with how lighting and shading would really work, but it's just what I found looks nice. Alright, so let's go shade darker for... Oh, actually, we're going to go a shade lighter for up here. So, yep, we'll make the top of this a little bit light. So, see, like, every little individual bit and piece, I'm kind of just giving its own little shading area. And then we'll make these a little darker of a red. So the black that's in here in the plaid part, I'm not going to be touching that. I've tried it before, and it made the colors just not blend together the best. Which, again, it's just... sometimes blending's your friend, sometimes blending's your enemy, and you just have to find the right balance for it. Now, to give the illusion that this is kind of a two-piece top, not just one solid one, we're going to add a little bit of shading here along the shirt. That way, you know, it looks like this is a shirt that's lying under the jacket. Really easy right here, just do the shading alongside the trim of the jacket itself. And we're going to do the same thing with the skin. We're going to do some little lighting up here. And there we go. That's all that for right there. Now let's do the same thing with the hood. Again, just the little under area is usually where I try to do the shading for it. So like that. And the black that's right here, it's such a dark color that I'm not actually going to do any more shading for it. So, yep, that's the entirety of our front right there. Hope that looks good. Hope you guys are following along. I'm doing the best to explain this. So now let's get to the back. So the back is actually it's pretty easy. It's not too bad. He doesn't have a ton going on here. So what I'll do is the trim that's on the front is going to line up. So usually what I do is I go to the front, I line up my cursor like so, switch to the back, and then you can just go straight across. So see, it lines up nice and well. We'll do the same with the white. I believe the white is also, yep, it's also two shades like this, or two squares like this. So see, there we go for that. Now we'll get to the more difficult part, which is the hood. Again, this one is just a bit of a trial and error thing. You just kind of have to figure out how the hood itself lines up. So see, like, you can draw a little line and be like, okay, done here. Then obviously you see it doesn't go any past that. Alright, so we'll just kind of start from the edges of the hood. This little area right here, it doesn't really matter what you do. Like, see, it doesn't actually show up on the shirt. So I'm just gonna keep it black to stop from confusing myself. Something I can definitely do often. So I have this first little bit goes down 5 squares. And what's nice is you can always kind of use this to, like, anytime you need to outline the hood a different color, you can always just kind of come back to this, and it'll be a nice little chart for you. So see, there we go. We outlined the hoodie perfectly. Now we can just switch to paint bucket and fill it all in. But obviously, like I said, Sora has a little bit of a unique hoodie, and it's more of a two-tone hoodie. So now we are going to line up the black on the front with the black here. And typically you can actually just do this. Like, see how the black is right here on the front? I'll switch over to the back and keep my pencil in the same spot. And then, see, it just lines right up. Alright, we'll switch to our paint bucket again. And there we go. Now we can... That's already all there is really to that. Now we'll just get into the shading aspect of it. Oops, wrong thing. Alright, there we go. So, like I said, just gonna repeat what I said, where I just do my shading as kind of keeping the under parts a darker color. Hope everyone's having a good day. Alright, and let's so we'll go down here to the bottom and we'll do a similar kind of shading as what we did in the front. We'll say, let's make this little area, we'll make this little area the lighter area, and then everything past here can be a little bit darker. Alright, yep, and that's everything for the front and the back. So now let's just get into the side. The sides are nice because 9 times out of 10 you can just copy and paste one side to the other. So these are, the sides are definitely kind of weird. As like, you'll see it takes a little bit for what you're drawing to actually show up. Like, see, not until we got to about this far that you can actually see the colors showing up on the arm itself. So yeah, this is again just usually what I try to do is like how Sora has little kind of cuff link things on his arms, so I think it's best to start from down there. Typically I make the entire little cuff part of the hoodie just whatever the cuff link is, but in Sora's case we're not going to do that, only because the cuff link itself isn't actually that big. Alright, and he has a little once again he has like a little clip, metal clip thingy, whatever you want to call it. There we go. I'm actually gonna make that a little bit lighter. We'll shade it darker later on. So there we go. Now I believe we'll go with this tone. Yep, because now we're gonna make his little little armband things, whatever you want to call those. And I'll have this at the halfway point. I think that's usually just kind of a good spot to do something like this. And then we'll make the edge of the sleeves up here. We'll actually do the sleeves first. I think it's just, there's a lot less to it. It's a lot simpler. And he has a little gray stripe that kind of goes across. The hardest part of doing this right now is remembering which colors, which shade of gray or black I actually use for each thing. There we go. Yeah, I think I used the darker one. So there we go. There's that. Now again, we're gonna do his little faux skin here, make it look like this is a short sleeve hoodie when it's actually not. And then for here, this is gonna be predominantly whatever color I have this as. Yeah, predominantly that, so we'll go ahead and paint it this color. Now it has a little white band that goes across the top up here. We'll make that too wide. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. And then he has a nice, really dark shade that goes across down here. So now that's basically it right there. So we're gonna get, now we'll do the shading for this. We'll make it a little bit lighter right here so it doesn't, you know, blend all too much. We'll do 3 spaces across for this lighting. Make it darker here. Now let's get to our darker red and do the little red bitties. Yeah, so same thing for both the front, pretty much everything I do, the front, the back, the sides, whatever it is. I always just kind of do like having the light kind of come from the center, and so the sides are going to be the more shaded bit. And definitely don't worry about always like lining up. Like you see, I have this square of light come over one more than like it does up here. It's really just whatever you think looks good. Like if you think it looks better having up here have like a little bit less lighting or shading on it than down here, just go for it. Really, it's just like I said, it's all trial and error. See what looks good, try it out. Now we'll do the shading on the little belt buckle again. We'll do I'm gonna turn off mirror mode here. Now we'll do white kind of for the top, and then I will make kind of a darker bottom here. Give that one more. There we go. Doesn't show up the best against yellow, but it's just kind of a what are you gonna do type situation. And then we can go ahead and go back to tools, come over to the swap and copy. We'll press Y to copy and paste this sleeve right there. And yep, that's the whole design right there. That's all of it. We got all the base, the shading, all that. And I hope you guys I'm pretty proud with how this one turned out. I hope you guys liked it too, and I hope you were able to follow along, and I hope I did the best I could at explaining everything for you guys. If not, like I said, I already, and yeah, you can see right here, I already kind of made his little outfit the best I could. I'll actually go into my shop here, and I'm gonna post this design so you guys can see the little code on screen, and you all can download it yourselves if you don't you don't feel like following along or making it on your own. Which, like I said, I would definitely I would highly encourage you guys to do that. I think even if it looks really confusing and you don't think you get it, I think maybe just following along with me might give you kind of a feeling or a sense of what to do exactly, or at least that's my hope. Like I said, I'm no real teacher on this. I'm kind of just going off of feeling. But yep, there's the design right there. I'll post it right now. And there's the code. I'll share it, and anyone who likes this design can just download it. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you really enjoyed going along with me. I hope I explained everything the best I could. And yeah, like I said, I have a lot of fun making these, so if you struggle with making your own designs, like, there's no shame. Everyone has their own talents. I'm sure there's stuff you're way better than me at, and yeah, just take pride in what you're good at. So yeah, if you're not the best at making designs, don't think it's something you could do, feel free to comment below, let me know anything you would like to see me make. Like I said, I love making these. I think it's a ton of fun, and I'm always happy to help. You can follow me on my Twitter or my Instagram, which will be in the description or the end card. And any designs you ask me to make, I will post onto there. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider giving it a like and possibly subscribing to the channel if you want. I make a ton of gaming related videos. I kind of just do a little bit of everything. But yeah, no, I had a lot of fun making this, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So until next time, it's been real, it's been fun, it's been real fun. Have a good one.